All right, we're sitting here today with Joe Highsmith of, is it Tacoma, Washington, or is it Lakewood, Washington originally?
Yeah, Lakewood, Washington.
Yeah, okay, Lakewood, Washington, which is south of Tacoma. So
Yep.
we're here with Joe because of several reasons. Selfishly speaking, he's a champion, a past champion of the Washington State Amateur Championship, which our office conducts. But I think more excitingly and more appropriately, it's Joe Highsmith has recently earned his PGA Tour card, and his life has taken a quantum leap forward. So, Joe Highsmith, thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course, Tom. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. So, where are you calling from? Where are you in?
I'm actually at my parents' place down in Southern California. So we're over here at PGA West in La Quinta.
Okay.
Perfect weather outside. Yeah, sun's out.
Yeah.
It's about as good as it gets here. So yeah, I'm enjoying life at the moment.
Yeah, very nice. Are you taking a breather right now, or are you getting things lined up, I would imagine, for the upcoming season on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, I've been taking it pretty easy since I've been back. The courses were closed for a few weeks when I was first down here, so that was nice to get kind of a true vacation. And then now that they've opened back up, I mean, I'm playing just about every day and trying to kind of get back into gear. I'm not probably playing in any real competitions until Sony. So yeah, just get kind of an extended break, but gonna get some good practice in and play a lot of golf, I'm sure.
Okay. So again, Joe Highsmith won the 2017 Washington State Amateur, and at the time, and you still are actually the youngest ever to win that title, which is pretty impressive. But also, a little known fact is that the year before, in 2016, you almost won that one too. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that one was tough. I think I had a 4-shot lead at my home club in Tacoma and kind of threw it away a little bit, but it was great to come back the next year and get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at both events, and the 26th one, you had the lead going to the final round, and I think you bogeyed the last hole, the par 5 on 18 there at Tacoma, and missed the playoff by one shot. Yeah, yeah, but still a very impressive finish. And again, you came back the next year and took the title, which is even more impressive. And I think that year you won the high school state championship. Is that right?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
2017. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's just a little more groundwork. So on October 8th, so last month, you finished number 18 on the Korn Ferry Tour points list. And the top 30 players on the points list earned their PGA Tour card for the following year. Is that right? That's how that worked out? Yeah. Okay. Okay. October 8th. And you finished really strong on the Korn Ferry Tour. Yeah, you had a couple of strong finishes that put you over into that top 30. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So now I do want to start kind of at the beginning a little bit. How did you the whole golf thing, how did you get into the game? Did your parents play? Did your siblings play? Where did you first pick up a club? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think we were actually talking about it the other day. I think that I was hitting the club around the house when I was probably maybe just a couple months old, I think, when I had a little plastic set. So that it started pretty early on, and I know it's kind of a funny story, but my mom was hitting golf balls the day that I was born. So I definitely was kind of around the game from a really early age. And then I was definitely playing other sports when I was younger, but I think by the time I was 8 or 9, I started to really pick up golf. And I had RJ Mankey and his brother and my brother. And so we had a big kind of crew of young guys that would play a bunch of golf together. And that definitely helped at that age, kind of having some more fun involved with the game as well. But yeah, I got into golf. I mean, my parents are both big players, and they met at the golf course, I believe. And it's kind of just been in the family forever. But yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think I actually know, I believe it's your uncle, Matt Highsmith. Is that right? He's an uncle. Yeah, he played on the UW golf team, University of Washington. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's a great player. And my dad was a pretty good player as well. And yeah, there's just kind of golf everywhere in the family for sure.
Okay. So did you play a lot of junior golf? Did you play in the Washington Junior Golf Association events, or how did you play as a junior player?
Yeah, I think my first WJGA year, I think I was 10 years old. So I played And that was kind of the main event of each year at that age for sure, was WJGA State. And I played that growing up from probably, about 9. I think 10 years old was my first year. From then on for the next few years, and did all the kind of Washington Junior golf stuff and JRGTs and all that. And then I probably started playing more AJGAs. I remember the Ryan Moore AJGA came to Oakbrook, and that was nice to have one that was close for once. And I think after that, I probably started playing some more national tournaments, maybe around 16 or 17, I would say. But growing up, it was kind of all WJGA, JRGT, that kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to ask, I know you play golf left-handed. Are you a natural left-hander or what?
I'm actually not. I'm right-handed in everything except swinging a golf club and baseball bat, I guess.
Is that right? Huh.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I think my dad's just about the opposite. He's left-handed in most areas, but swings the club righty. So it's kind of interesting there. But yeah.
How did that? I mean, you just decided it felt better that way, and so that's how you're going to do it?
Must have. It was always natural for me. I think that my dad might have been left-handed, but they couldn't probably find left-handed golf clubs back when he was growing up. So I think he had to learn righty, but might have been a natural lefty. But it always came natural for me that way.
Yeah, very nice. So Bellarmine Prep, you attended Bellarmine Prep there in Tacoma, and they became, and probably still are, I don't know, something of a powerhouse for golf. I think they won state titles 3 years while you were in high school. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you mentioned RJ Mankey as a teammate there, and I think he was a teammate with you at Pepperdine later on. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. We did 3 years in high school and 3 years in college as well on the same team. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay. He RJ went on to win the Washington State Amateur actually twice after you had won it. So you kept it in the family, so to speak, for a while.
Exactly.
Okay. So Tacoma Country and Golf Club is kind of a home and breeding ground of some really good golfers. The Putnams come to mind immediately as well. Yeah. When you were in high school and playing around there at the club and stuff, did you have particular mentors or heroes, so to speak, that you really looked up to or took specific lessons from during that time?
Definitely. Yeah. I remember the Putnams being out there was always the coolest thing, because I mean, they were so nice to us at that age, which was really cool to be able to just go and play golf with them, do putting contests, hit balls with them and stuff. And they were really nice with kind of giving us some words of wisdom that definitely helped us at a young age. And same thing, Andres Gonzalez is out there and Kyle Stanley. And there were really a lot of guys at the club that the young guys like me and RJ were able to learn from. And that was the coolest thing, to see guys that were having success on the PGA Tour, and they're just out there hitting balls next to us. So that was definitely a big part of my development for sure.
Yeah, sure. From Bellarmine on to Pepperdine, and that also is a bit of a pipeline from the Northwest and Bellarmine in particular. And because I know RJ went there, but also didn't Michael Putnam go there as well? Or is that
both the Putnams? I think went to Life Christian and Pepperdine, but definitely a big Pepperdine connection. Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So during the college years, you had some pretty good years. I mean, you won the Sahalee Players in 2019. I think you qualified for the U.S. Open. Was that 2021?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we're a qualifying medalist at the final qualifying for the U.S. Open that year as well. Yeah. In the at what point, whether in high school or college, did you start thinking, I kind of know how to do this game, and I enjoy it, and I'm just going to go all in and see where it goes? Did you have a particular point in your development where you had that sort of light bulb moment, thinking maybe I can do this?
Yeah, I don't know if there was quite a specific moment like that, but definitely just over the years. Playing in bigger. Sorry, that's my dog. Do you mind giving me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. We are now on pause. because Joe Highsmith, the future PGA Tour player, has gone to get his dog. I think let the dog out of the house, or maybe it let him back in the house. I'm not sure which. So, but again, we're talking here with Joe Highsmith. It's all right. Taking care of business.
Yeah, no, my apologies. But yeah, so I would say maybe by the time I was 16 or 17, it was kind of, would maybe have started to think about, like, I felt like I'd had a little bit of success on a junior scale pretty nationally. And at that point, I thought that it was definitely a realistic goal to feel like I could play for a living and hopefully make the PGA Tour one day. But it's hard to say a specific moment. I remember a couple times after, I guess the big one would probably be I played on the Junior President's Cup team. And so we got to kind of see, they were really great with us, and we got to kind of go inside the ropes in the practice rounds and hang out with the guys and see them hit shots and all that. And that experience for me was one where I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I feel like I could maybe be here one day. And if there was one specific moment, I may pick that. But then you get to college, and now the guys are a lot better than you would have imagined, and the fields are bigger, and it's kind of just like a long road ahead of you to that. But yeah, and then by the time I was junior, senior in college, and had had a good amount of success on an world amateur level, that was definitely encouraging to kind of be like, this is a realistic thing that I feel like I could definitely do if I keep doing the right things. But yeah.
Okay. I don't know the answer to this, but did you play in the U.S. Amateur ever as well?
I did. I think I played in 4 USAMs.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. So I see, tons of other things here on your resume. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of going through.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Again. Twice Washington Golf Men's Player of the Year, 2021 and 2019. Junior Boys Player of the Year, 2016 and 2017. Tied for second at the Pacific Coast Amateur in 2021 as well. So I want to ask also the PGA Tour University program. Is that something you were involved with, Joe?
It is, yeah. So yeah, when I turned pro, I had status in Canada. I think I finished in the 6 through 15 category for that PGAU program, which gave you full status for PGA Tour Canada for that season. And then that also gave you an exemption through to second stage as well. So that was a big part of getting started and having a place to play, for sure. Yeah, that played a huge role.
And what is that program? Is that something you had to be selected for, or something that you saw as an option, say, hey, I want to try this, or how'd that work out for you?
So it's like a new program that was introduced a couple years ago. It's just basically about having a direct route for the best players in college to have a starting place to play. And so the first year that came out, it was the top 5 guys were earned partial Korn Ferry status for that. I think the rest of the season after the college season ended, and then the next group of guys would go to Canada. So it was basically the top 5 college players, go Korn Ferry, and then number 6 through 15 of all the juniors and seniors in college will go to Canada. So so that was a great way for me to get started, and it definitely helped me out a bunch.
PGA Tour Canada, that's a pretty spread out schedule and a pretty spread out to travel itinerary as well.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. There's no doubt that first summer as a pro was kind of all over the place. And we were going, it's felt like kind of back and forth from the East to West Coast in Canada. So that was tough travel, but I think it was all good because you kind of got to learn how to deal with some annoying stuff and figure out how to play when things aren't totally comfortable. But
So your first event as a pro on the PGA Tour Canada, you tied for first. You were in a playoff. So that must have been a pretty good confidence booster for you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's tough. I remember just at the start of that week, I mean, the fields have 156 guys, and most of these guys were top guys when they were in college. And it can be pretty intimidating. But for my first one out, to have a good week like that and feel like oh, if I play well, I know I can compete out here. I mean, that was super encouraging, and led to a pretty successful season out there for sure.
Yeah. So then 1 year on the PGA Tour Canada, and what allowed you was their order of merit, I guess, to finish on that made you eligible for the Korn Ferry Tour the next year. Is that how that worked?
Yes, not quite for me. So they had the top 5 guys get they call it Korn Ferry status, but it's not totally true. I mean, the number 1 guy gets full status, so he actually guarantees that he can play on Korn Ferry, and then 2 and 3, I think, maybe get the first 4 8 starts guaranteed, and then 4 and 5 get maybe the first 4, generally speaking. And I finished 9th on the list, and so I was in a category that fortunately the top 10 are exempt through to final stage of Q school, and so I didn't have any guaranteed starts on Korn Ferry at that point, but I was at least able to have a chance to go get it at final stage. And then there's where you have to finish in the top 40 to get 8 guaranteed starts for Korn Ferry. And so that was how I got out there the next year.
There you go. And so it was just 1 year on the Korn Ferry Tour? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right. So when you finished tied very strongly and finished 18th on well within the line to get the tour card for next year, was that a surprise to you? Was it like, wow, all this hard work finally paid off, kind of thing, or looking forward to next year? What was the feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. I would say definitely a lot of relief, but for sure a big feeling and big sense of accomplishment. I mean, getting that done with how my season went. I had to miss, I think, 5 tournaments during the season because I had a back injury, and kind of the weeks surrounding that, I wasn't really healthy either and trying to play. So I really felt like I had a big setback and thought it was going to be pretty tough to get my card with how all of that had gone. And with the last 2 tournaments to go, I mean, I really needed a couple of good weeks, and to be able to do that was definitely pretty. I'm not going to say I was expecting to do it by any means. It was great how it all worked, but I was proud of the way I played for sure. But I definitely by no means would have expected my card about a couple months ago. But to be able to finish strong like that was awesome.
Yeah. So October 8th was the final day of that championship of the Korn Ferry Tour. What have you been doing since October 8th?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, I definitely took like a pretty solid vacation after that week, and probably didn't touch a club for a few weeks, and I came down to the desert actually and was just kind of enjoying the sun and trying to do some fitness stuff to get my body feeling better and all that. But it was definitely a pretty chill couple weeks. And then now that it's kind of picked up here and the courses are open, and I've been playing some more golf. So, but still I'm kind of just in off season mode and trying to enjoy my time off and have fun while I have this break. But also when we get a little closer to the season, I'll probably try to start gearing things up a little bit as well. So that'll probably be in the next few weeks or so. And then I won't start playing until about the middle of January.
Yeah. Was that the Sony Open is the first event for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have to get anything else lined up? Like who's going to be your regular caddy or things like that? Just details such as that. Do you have a regular caddy?
Yeah, I think I have a guy that I'm going to be taking next year. So I'm looking forward to that. And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, fortunately, with the years that I've played on Canada and Korn Ferry, I mean, you've kind of gotten used to just all the things that you need to be ready to be traveling as a pro and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's going to be probably a little bit more on the PGA Tour. But I mean, really just trying to do the same kind of things and try not to change up too much and just kind of do my best to stay comfortable and keep doing the same things I've been doing. But yeah.
So what kind of status do you have on the tour for next year? Do you have full status? Do you have a certain schedule you can play or not play? How does that?
Yeah. The different status categories are pretty complicated. So I'm not going to need to explain all of that. But I think that generally speaking, I'm going to be playing most of the events other than the designated tournaments. But that being said, I think that if you play really well, you can earn your way into those. So I would say it's definitely pretty performance based, but at a minimum, I think I'm going to be able to play a relatively pretty full season, especially with where I finished on the list. But I think that it really is subject to change quite a bit based on how you play. So
yeah, sure.
But yeah.
Okay. Your family going to go with you a little bit, maybe over to Hawaii or something to watch you play the first few times?
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll be traveling quite a bit. And yeah, we're going to be going to a ton of cool places, so that'll be super fun to have them there.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Joe Highsmith, again, thanks so much for joining us today and getting your tour card for the PGA Tour for the first time, first crack out there. That was pretty impressive. Congratulations on that. And again, a past Washington State amateur champion in 2017 and deep Washington roots here. Congratulations, and we're all going to be looking out for you out there.
Thanks so much, Tom. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take care.